Welcome to the Trivia Blast podcast with your host, Mark H. Delfs, broadcasting from sunny Northeast Florida. I'm going to give you 10 random trivia questions across a variety of topics and one bonus question at the end. I will give you all of the answers at the end of the episode, so stay tuned to see how you did. Now, let's get started. And here we are. Welcome to episode number 9 already of the Trivia Blast podcast. I really didn't think I was going to get to episode 9. I figured I'd do 1 or 2 episodes and then just get bored with it and never finish them. But I was saying in my head, if I can get to number 10, I think I can keep going. So here we are at number 9, and I really appreciate everybody out there listening. I put this out there on, all the Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and I've been telling friends, and I do see the numbers rising. So people are listening, so I do appreciate it. So definitely subscribe and tell a friend, and I will try to massage your mind the best I can. So for episode number 9, let's start with the questions because that's what you're here for. So here we go. Question number 1. What real-life talk show musician became the first person to say the F word on Saturday Night Live in 1980 during a skit with the English rock band The Troggs? What real-life talk show musician became the first person to say the F word on Saturday Night Live, SNL, in 1980 during a skit with the English rock band The Troggs? And number 2, which state is depicted on the reverse side of the 2004 U.S. quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, featuring a peach and the state's motto, wisdom, justice, moderation? Which state is depicted on the reverse side of the 2004 U.S. quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, featuring a peach and the state's motto, wisdom, justice, moderation? Moving on to number 3, Ronald Wayne, who is no longer an employee, was a co-founder of which company founded in a California garage in 1976? Ronald Wayne, who is no longer an employee, was the co-founder of which company founded in a California garage in 1976? And number 4, Blue Ribbon Sports, founded in 1964, later became one of the world's largest manufacturers of athletic gear. What's the name of this company today? Blue Ribbon Sports, founded in 1964, later became one of the world's largest manufacturers of athletic gear. What's the name of this company today? And number 5, which Major League Baseball team ended an 86-year championship drought by winning the World Series in 2004? Which Major League Baseball team ended an 86-year championship drought by winning the World Series in 2004? Moving on to number 6, who was the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe during World War II and later became the 34th President of the United States? Who was the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe during World War II and later became the 34th President of the United States? And number 7, which female artist who gained fame on the TV show You Can't Do That on Television released the 1995 album called Jagged Little Pill? Which female artist who gained fame on the TV show You Can't Do That on Television released the 1995 album Jagged Little Pill? And number 8, which 2 African countries are known for never being fully colonized by European power? Which 2 African countries are known for never being fully colonized by a European power? And number 9, what is the only mammal capable of true flight? What is the only mammal capable of true flight? And number 10, how many of the 5 countries that make up the Scandinavian region can you name? How many of the 5 countries that make up the Scandinavian region can you name? And let's move on to number 11, the bonus question submitted by my best friend, Dr. Soos. Where in the world will you primarily find possums? Where in the world will you primarily find possums? And those were your questions from this episode of Trivia Blast, and I want you to stay tuned after a quick break for your answers. I will see you in one moment. Thank you to this week's sponsor, the Codfather Fish Market, located on 4th Street near the wharf right next to Vinny's Tavern, where fresh seafood and family tradition go hand in hand. Are you looking for the perfect cod fillet? The Codfather has the freshest catches in town, handpicked daily by Eddie and the boys in the back. Craving something a little different? The calamari, scallops, and shrimp are fresh enough to make even the pickiest seafood lover an offer they can't refuse. The Codfather is where seafood shopping becomes an experience and every customer is treated like part of the family. Visit the Codfather today, where every deal is sealed with a handshake, a lemon wedge, and a free bib. Contact the Codfather today at 1-555-CODBOSS. And we're back with your answers for this episode of Trivia Blast. Let's start with number 1. What real-life talk show musician became the first person to say the F word on SNL in 1980 during a skit with the English rock band The Troggs? That would have been Paul Schaefer. Paul Schaefer. You probably remember him from the David Letterman show. Paul Schaefer. Number 2, which state is depicted on the reverse side of the 2004 U.S. quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program featuring a peach and the state's motto, wisdom, justice, moderation? That's a state that is right above where I live. That is the state of Georgia, the Georgia peach. Moving on to number 3, Ronald Wayne, who is no longer an employee, was a co-founder of which company founded in a California garage in 1976? That would have been Apple Computer, of course. He is no longer with the company, but was a founder. He also designed the logo, the original logo. Number 4, Blue Ribbon Sports, founded in 1964, later became one of the world's largest manufacturers of athletic gear. What's the name of this company today? And you probably know them as Nike. Number 5, which Major League Baseball team ended an 86-year championship drought by winning the World Series in 2004? That would be the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox. And number 6, who was the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe during the World War II and later became the 34th President of the United States? That was Dwight Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Number 7, which female artist who gained fame on the TV show You Can't Do That on Television released the 1995 album Jagged Little Pill? That would have been Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette. And number 8, which 2 African countries are known for never fully being colonized by European power? That would be Ethiopia and Liberia. And number 9, what is the only mammal capable of true flight? You might know it as the bat. Number 10, how many of the 5 countries that make up the Scandinavian region can you name? We're looking for Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland. Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. And for our bonus question, where in the world will you primarily find possums? They will appear only in Australia. Opossums are found in North and South America and are a completely different animal. Once again, thank you to Dr. Soos for supplying that guest question and answer. Remember, possums and opossums are 2 different animals. Thank you, Dr. Soos. And those are your questions and answers from this episode of Trivia Blast, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening. I try to release new episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays each week. So thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to tell a friend and leave a comment wherever you listen. And I will have a website shortly with some fill-in forms that you can send me some email or send me some questions you want me to read on the show. And once again, I appreciate it, and thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.